Welcome! Today, we're going on an exciting journey across one of the most diverse and fascinating continents in the world, Africa! Before we start, let's see what some people think about Africa. What do you think about Africa, it being more known for its history, its wildlife, or other things?
I personally think you love wildlife.
Oh, really? What kind of wildlife do you think they have?
Like lions, tigers, elephants, and I think... Isn't it penguins too?
You didn't see anything.
When you think of Africa, what do you most think of? Fufu. What's the first thing you think of when you think of the word Africa?
I think about like savanna deserts, like the animals that are known to be from Africa, and yeah.
Okay, did you know that the largest desert is the Sahara Desert?
Yes. Yeah.
Not really, it's actually Antarctica. But the Sahara Desert is actually the hottest desert. Okay. What is the first thing you think of when you hear the word Africa?
I think of a mission field that is really needy, people that really need the Lord, and I think it's a place where more Christians should go over there and try to minister to the people there.
It's a very excellent answer. What is the first thing you think of when you hear the word Africa? Geography, the culture, what comes to mind?
Generally, what comes to mind probably would be the geopolitical conflicts in the sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay, geopolitical conflicts, what does that entail?
Well, there's a series of countries right on the edge of the Sahara, on the south edge, with very valuable resources, including military-grade uranium, that are currently being overthrown by troops like the Wagner Group that are Russia-supported. It's creating a very tense conflict in that region.
Thank you for answering. All right, so what is the first thing that you think of when you think of Africa?
Lions.
Lions?
Safari, yeah.
Oh, the safari. So lots of animals and wildlife. Good answers. Well, that was interesting. Let's see what Africa truly is about.
Africa, a continent divided into 54 countries and 10 territories. The largest countries include Algeria, Libya, Sudan, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. The whole of Africa is divided into two regions based on geography. North Africa, which contains the Sahara Desert, the Suez Canal, and the Nile River, and the Sub-Saharan, which has rainforest, Victoria Falls, and the Horn of Africa. Let's explore some countries next. Welcome to Nigeria, located on the northwest side of the continent, bordering the Atlantic Ocean. Nigeria is one of the most populous countries in Africa. Because it has such a large population, Nigeria also has the largest economy in Africa. The main geographic feature in this country is the Niger River. Let's move on to Ethiopia. The second largest nation by population, but only the 10th largest by landmass. Its capital is Addis Ababa and is located in the area named the Horn of Africa. The Horn of Africa is a horn-shaped peninsula located on the east side of Africa. Some people say that Ethiopia is one of the oldest countries on Earth. It is also a major world producer of coffee. Wow, Ethiopia sure is interesting. Now let's talk about Egypt. Egypt is the third largest country by population. It is most famous for having the Great Pyramids. Most of the pyramids are located just outside of the capital city, Cairo. Cairo, Egypt, and Alexandria are the third and fourth largest cities in Africa. Egypt's main source of agriculture and community is the Nile River. The Nile River is the longest river on Earth. It is also known in more recent history for the building of the Suez Canal. There's a lot more to talk about in Egypt, but for now, let's move on to some cultural aspects of Africa. Africa's culture is incredibly diverse, reflecting its vast geography, numerous ethnic groups, and deep historical roots. It is rich in traditions, music, dance, art, and storytelling, which are central to many communities. Family and community play vital roles with strong values of respect and hospitality. Languages, clothing, and cuisines vary widely across the continent. Despite modern influences, traditional practices remain deeply woven into daily life. Now let's move on to the terrain of Africa. When it comes to climate, Africa is incredibly varied. The northern regions are mostly arid, with the Sahara Desert taking up much of North Africa. Moving south, we encounter tropical rainforest, savannas, and the vast Kalahari Desert. This diversity in terrain affects the climate, which ranges from humid in the equatorial regions to dry in the northern and southern parts. Let's see some of the major historical events that have influenced Africa. Africa has also been at the center of significant historical events. It was the heart of ancient civilizations like Egypt, Carthage, Mali, and Great Zimbabwe, which made remarkable contributions to architecture, trade, science, and philosophy. The continent was home to thriving trade routes such as the Trans-Saharan Trade Network, which facilitated the exchange of gold, salt, and knowledge across Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. However, Africa has also seen dark chapters such as the transatlantic slave trade in the colonial period, which disrupted societies, exploited resources, and left lasting impacts on the continent's political landscape. Despite these many challenges, Africa has demonstrated resilience, with many countries gaining independence in the mid-20th century and working toward economic growth, political stability, and cultural revival. Africa continues to play a critical role in world events. Some countries are working to address the challenges of genocide and civil war, while others are emerging as global economic powers. Political leaders like Nelson Mandela, who fought against apartheid in South Africa, are still celebrated today for their contributions to peace and unity.
What do you think about Africa? What do you think about Africa?
Action.
When you think of Africa, what do you think about most?
Fufu and giraffes.
Fufu. What is fufu?
It's a food.
Are there any other foods in Africa that interest you? Stop! Alright, what's your favorite thing about Africa?
My favorite thing is the people. I love the people. My best friend, she's African. I'm 1% Egyptian, so I mean, I'm African as well. I love me, so.
Alright.
Enough said.